everybody, I'm Bree the plant lady.
I'm Abby the gardener.
And there's Kubby Brewster. And today we are preparing for the inevitable. Cold weather is in the forecast, and that means that all these tender succulents need to get potted and stashed into the heated shed for dry winter storage. So today we're going to deassemble the succulent table, which in the 8 years of having this is my favorite design so far. But that's the great thing about gardening. There's always another season. Hope springs eternal. And next year we'll get to do another cool combination. And then after we get this deassembled and ready for dry storage, we're going to replant it with winter interest plants, including leaving this hardy sedum. This is sedum acre, which will grow all winter long. And we're going to add some pansies, and maybe we'll scatter some lettuce seeds. So stay tuned to see what we get accomplished. Okay, Abs. So first of all, let's gather my tchotchkes out of here. They're a little hard to find because the hardy sedum has done its job. And we're going to try and leave most of this hardy sedum in. So then we'll basically just be tucking in pansies like into these openings. That way the sedum acre actually looks like a ground cover, because that is what it is. If I haven't said it already, I hate this time of year, like deeply. I hate short days and I hate cold weather. I want succulents. I want these succulents to live year-round in the climate that I live in. But the shed's gonna look awesome. Alright, so now we gotta rip the band-aid off. It's the hardest part. Deassembling does not bring me joy. Alright. We'll try and get as much root as possible. Oh my god, they're really well rooted. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. I'm going to need more than one pop. That's for sure. And for those of you who may want to do this at home, I'm just filling old pots. This is just recycling an old window or an old hanging basket. It's filled with soil cube compost, and that's intentional because it holds enough moisture. These are going to go into dry storage, meaning they're not going to get watered from now on until we pull them out sometime March or April, depending on the weather. So it's good that the soil cube has enough moisture to be able to just sort of keep them hydrated through the winter. They're going to go into an upper shelf in the shed behind me that stays room temperature. The key to successfully growing succulents is no water all winter long. Put some grow lights on them. But you gotta, for me, I have to put them in a place that's out of the way. Otherwise, I'm tempted to water and then they die. So if you don't want your succulents to die in the winter, you really do have to ignore them, which is really hard to do. Well, you can see the contents of the succulent table are now confined to these two pots. And these will just get stashed away for the winter. It's not really about making them look pretty, it's just about making them not die over the winter, so I don't have to re-buy all of these things. And I've been doing this for a decade, so I do promise you it works, just you have to resist the urge to water. That's why they get stashed away on a high shelf. Okay, so we have the succulents out. It's really sad. We're going to add just a bit more compost. This is, again, my favorite compost, soil cube. And we're just going to kind of spread it evenly throughout. And, you know, you can use whatever soil you like. I'm just really used to using soil cube. I don't have to water it all that often, so I really appreciate. Okay. And so now it's time for us to plant. And I'm looking at Kubby, who seems like he just belongs on this table at all times. I'm wondering, Abby, do you think we should just pull this out and start with a blank slate and then fill in the gaps? Or do you think we should just keep this here and work around it?
Probably pull it out.
Yeah, I think that's the smart choice. Kubby, I'm just gonna get under you a little bit. He says, no, I am a part of this process. Okay, that's good. Let's go all the way across. So now, I love doing violas. I think violas are more reliable than pansies. And what do you think of the mix? Yellow and white?
Yeah.
I think that looks pretty good together. So the orientation, you know, I tend to kind of be a little bit boring, like doing every other. Do you think we should try and be more creative, or do you think every other is... Every other, alright. She's making me feel not so bad, because she's like a trendy teenager. So we'll get those installed, and then I usually do lettuce, but I kind of like the idea of just using this sedum as the ground cover, since it's been growing here.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, let's get busy. Well, all in all, I think the succulent table still looks like a succulent table. That's because of the hardy variety of sedum. This is a species called Sedum acre, and it's evergreen here in central North Carolina, zone 7. But all these tenders are going to get tucked away for the winter, and we'll get to replant them again next spring. If you found this video to be helpful, please give me a thumbs up, be sure to subscribe, and share it with your friends. And as always, thanks so much for watching, everyone.